You know good lighting will make a real difference in the quality of your videos, but there are so many obstacles in setting and positioning the lights correctly and finding the right balance. I know how complicated it can be until you set up the lights the way you like, but in this video I will share everything you need to know to finally be happy with the results and what to do to avoid reflections if you wear glasses. Let's do this. First, to set the lights, you need to understand how to expose correctly to know how much light you need. I will briefly explain this and also provide a dedicated detailed video on this topic to watch after this one so you can understand it in depth. The link will be in the description. To find out how much light power you need, look for the zebra feature on your camera. Not all the cameras have it, but if you have it, activate it and set it to 70. On the camera screen only, you will see some lines where the image is exposed at 70%. Our skin should be exposed to around 70%. I will try to keep the ISO low to reduce noise. I like to use values like 100, 160, 320 or 640. If you use a slower lens with f3.5 like the kit lens and you need more light but don't have it, don't be afraid to use a higher ISO. I will keep it at 320 for now. Next, I will increase or decrease the light's power until I see those lines appear on the screen of my face. If the lines appear, that means that the area is exposed at 70% and I'm good to go. The face will not be equally exposed at 70% all over, and that's okay. Maybe other things in the room will also be exposed at 70%. That's also okay. The important thing is to have the skin exposed at around 70%. Don't go crazy with this. We see many movies underexposed because that is how they want them. This exposed at 70% is correct, but also if I expose my skin at 50% or 60%, it's still correct. It's not an exact science. If it's a little underexposed, you can increase it slightly in post-processing. If you use a webcam, you will not have the zebra feature. In this case, expose the image by trusting your eyes. Watch the image and set it up until you are satisfied with the exposure. The only technical mistake is overexposure. That's simply to discover by simply watching the image. If it's totally white, that's overexposed, and it's bad because you can't recover those parts. Watch the image, and if nothing gets burned out, that's good. You are not producing a movie that needs to be accepted by a streaming service and meet all the specifications. Don't go crazy about this. If you like a darker vibe, that's okay. Let's better understand the balance between ISO and light's power. Look at this. Now I have the aperture set at 3.5 as the kit lens, the ISO at 640 and the lights, one at 39% and the other at 75%. And the exposure is correct, the skin is exposed at around 70%. But I can increase the ISO to 1600 and decrease the lights at 10% and 27%. This is also correct. The skin is still exposed at around 70%. But when the ISO is lower, we have less noise and the shadows are more pronounced. When the ISO is higher and the lights at lower values, we have fewer shadows and more noise. The ISO will digitally increase the brightness across the entire image, lifting the shadows, while the light increases the brightness only in the area it's pointed at. Both situations are correct, it's a matter of taste. Also, the ISO values like 1600 or 3200, the noise is extremely low. Don't be afraid to use these settings with a modern mirrorless camera. Now let's go to the first setup, lighting when using one light. I will start with a big softbox and a dedicated video light. The one light setup has the advantage of saving money and space because softboxes are bulky and two of them take up a lot of space. But it also has many disadvantages. If you only have one light, position it in front of you, but it's recommended to place it slightly to one side. Not too much because it will create a huge shadow on the other side of the face. An important aspect is to position the light so it comes from above at a 45-degree angle. If you put the light at the eye level, it will be in your face, disturb you and cause reflections in your glasses. If the light is coming from above, your eyes will be aligned with the camera and the light will not be visible. When you look up, the reflections will be visible. That's normal, but you are looking into the lens most of the time. Position it correctly. If you can, place it a little bit farther away from you, 4 or 5 feet, but I don't have enough space for that. But if you can, keep a little more space between you and the light. You can use it without a grid and the light will be super wide, illuminating everything around you, or you can attach the grid, which will make the light narrower. Test and choose what you like most. Place the light slightly to your side and above you to avoid reflections in your glasses. In my case, because the room is small and the light is close, even with a softbox, it's pretty harsh. When you use a softbox, the bigger the softbox, the softer the light will be. But for that, you need a huge space. I see many creators recommending big softboxes all the time, but they forget to mention that many of them use softboxes in large spaces. This is important. But in a small space with a softbox close to you and a softbox that's not super big, this is the reality. Most people love this kind of dark, shadowy image. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's a matter of taste. This is how the image looks with the fast lens at f1.4. Also, this is how the image looks if I use a hair light, without the hair light and with the hair light. If I set the aperture at f3.5 like the kit lens, I will readjust the settings to get a good exposure. This is how the image looks now. Also, this is how the image looks if I also use a hair light and without the hair light. With the hair light again. We will talk about the hair light immediately because it's a nice add-on and the most complicated to position correctly. But I will show you a trick and mounting system. If you have one light, this is what you can do. You can't control it that much. There is one trick I like most, but it only works if you have a white or light gray wall in front of you. I move the light to a stand, remove the softbox because I need a more powerful light, attach this system for a narrow light and bounce the light off the wall in front of me. And the wall will reflect a super diffused light. Look now, I have no hard shadows, but the background is also more illuminated because the entire wall reflects a lot of light. And this is how it looks with the hair light, and this is how it looks without a hair light. Let's move to the situation where you have one light panel. If you have only one light panel, position it the same way as with a single softbox. In front of you, a little from the side and coming from a 45-degree angle from above. This is how the image looks at f1.4. This is with the hair light, this is without the hair light, and this is how the image looks at f3.5 with the kit lens, with the hair light and without the hair light. With light panels, be careful when choosing them as some lack diffusion, which can make the light extremely harsh. This is why I like these Godox ES45s, they have this diffusion and also the Elgato key lights are the same. Or you can find some light panels with a small softbox which will work as well. And with a light panel you can also use the bouncing technique. This is how the image looks with one light panel bounced off the wall in front of me. Now with the hair light and without a hair light. Now at f3.5 as the kit lens, with a hair light and without a hair light. About the lights, I use a few Godox lights. This video is not sponsored, it happens to have more Godox lights because I have had them for years and they have never failed me. I use and like a Godox ML100B. This light is new, powerful, 120 watts. You can adjust the color temperature, it's quiet enough and compact. You can also control it with the smartphone app. This is another reason to stay with the same brand since you can control all the lights from the same app. I really like this light. But don't forget to buy the bounce adapter to attach a bounce mount softbox. The light costs around $199 at the time of recording this video, and the bounce adapter costs around $13. If you want something cheaper but not that powerful, I have also used two Godox SL60W since 2019. These are great lights, not that compact but solid lights. They come with this system to narrow the light plus a remote. But you can't control them with your smartphone, and the minimum power you can set them at is 25%. One of these costs around $109. The softboxes are sold separately depending on the size. A medium one, as I have, 24 by 24 inches, costs around $50, and buy ones with a grid to better control the light. And one ES45 costs around $139. Also, for all the equipment shown in this video, I will add affiliate links in the description. If you click on my links, you won't pay anything extra, but I will earn a small commission, and this will help me keep sponsors away from this channel and create more valuable content for you. Thank you. Now let me show you the next setup using two softboxes. This is different. With two softboxes, you can better control the light. Place the first softbox to the side, not at a 90-degree angle, but more to the side, and use the grid. In this case, the light with the grid will illuminate one side of your face. Set the intensity to properly expose the skin, and now you have your main or key light set up. The second light is called the fill light. Position it on the opposite side to illuminate the other side of your face, and use the grid as well. But this one can be adjusted at a lower level. This will create dynamics and make it look more interesting. There are no exact values. It's also a matter of taste and preferences. With two lights, because they are not pointed directly at the background will be a little darker, and you can see better the colors of the practical lights. Of course, if you have a white wall, it's a white wall, you can't make it super dark or black. And this is the look that most creators prefer. Two softboxes, one set at a higher value and one at a lower value. Again, because I shoot in a small space, the lights are close and the softboxes are not that big, the light is a little bit harsh. This is the look with a hair light also, and this is the look without. Next, if you have two light panels, position them the same as two softboxes, coming from above to avoid reflections in the glasses, more from a side, one at a higher intensity and one at a lower intensity. The light panels lacking a grid will illuminate the background a little more. This is how the image looks without a hair light, and this is how the image looks with a hair light. Before going to the hair light and the practical lights, we have two important aspects to discuss. Number one, the light's intensity and settings. Don't copy other creators' intensity because it will not look good. Even if you use the same lights, camera and lens, you shoot in another room, you have other furniture, maybe other colors on the walls. The distances are different. Even a few inches will affect the intensity. So tweak the intensity until your image looks good and you like it. Also, the light temperature is a matter of taste and preference. Some people like warmer tones, others cooler tones. I prefer to keep them at 5600 Kelvin, but it's a matter of taste. Choose what you like. And number two, the reflections in the glasses. If you position the lights above you and farther to the sides, the reflections will be significantly reduced. But also, when you make your glasses, tell the professional what you do as simply as possible. I shoot videos and want lenses that reflect less light so the camera won't pick up as many reflections. Maybe they will show you some models, take them, search for a light in the store and compare them to choose one that reflects less light. Most of the time they will find something for you or talk to their suppliers to recommend a special treatment. It's different from one country to another and I don't know any brands or treatment names, but tell them what you do and they will offer something that reflects less. These are my glasses. and the reflections, and these are my wife's glasses. There's a difference. Any screen protection, that pink blue treatment will reflect more. You want clean lenses that reflect less. I'm not a professional. I told them what I wanted and they provided a solution. I'm sure any lens brand will know how to help you. It will cost more, but it is how it is. I paid around $150 for a pair of lenses. You can also use a mix between a softbox and an LED panel. I have now a Godox ML100B with a softbox as a key light and an LED panel as a fill light. You can do this kind of mix anytime to save some space and money. I really like this look. And now the hair light. The hair light is an additional small light that will illuminate you from above and behind, creating a contour of your body and making you stand out more. But this light is the trickiest to position. Why? The light should be out of the shot so you won't see it. And you need to find the right position to create the contour, but the light should never ever light your face or the tip of your nose. Look, I will position it to light me up from above and behind. But with the light in this position, the exposure will be affected. The tip of the nose and the face is exposed more. That's bad. In this situation, the best position will be somewhere around here, out of the shot. And here is the tricky part. If you have a tall bookcase or shelves and you can attach the hair light with a magic arms or something, that's great. You solve the problem. But most of the time, the light should float here, somehow. The only option I found was to use a light stand and a boom arm to position it correctly. I will add a link to a similar boom arm system because it's cheaper to buy it as a pack than to build it as I did from pieces. A light stand with a boom arm and a similar adjustable system, it's around $100. I know it's expensive. I don't see other option. You can try using varipoles, but those are more expensive. And by using this stand, the light is now in the right position. But luckily for me, I built these acoustic panels a while ago and they are made from wood and some fabric. I made them wrong and it does nothing to the audio. If I take them down, you won't notice any difference in audio, but I don't want to because I will have holes in the ceiling now. But I can mount this cold shoe mount adapter and using a magic arm, I can position the hair light easily. If you have some furniture behind you and you can position the light out of the shot, that's great. You can use the light stand or be creative and find a solution to position the hair light correctly. Also, the intensity is a matter of preferences. I like it to be subtle, and I see all kinds of color temperature or colors used by creators. Choose what you like. But pay attention to this. If you watch my videos, I rarely use a hair light. Maybe I will use it more from now on. But the hair light is not mandatory. If you think it's worth the investment, do it. If not, you can create exceptional videos without one. Don't go crazy with this one if you don't have an easy way to mount it. What light do I use for this? I use the Godox MI5R5000 because it comes with this diffusion, the battery is huge and it lasts for hours. And I can control it with my phone while monitoring the image. But pay attention, this light does not have any mounting thread, so you need to use a phone holder to attach it. Of course, you can use other video lights such as the SmallRig P96 or the Andoer. And now, the practical lights. These are also not mandatory. If you want some colors, it's a great solution. I have RGB lights from SmallRig, Andoer, Godox, Ulanzi, it doesn't matter. You can use them behind some objects or directly on the wall. There are no rules. Choose what color you like, it's a matter of preferences and brand. But set your main lights first, set the camera and exposure, and lastly add the practical lights and adjust them so they're no brighter than you. You want to stand out. There is no exact measurement. Look at the image and adjust the intensity to look pleasing. Position your light or lights correctly even if you use only one or two. I recommend two for better control. choose between softboxes and light panels based on your space and needs. And if you can, use a hair light that will make you stand out more in the videos. But you can create the best lighting system for nothing. You need a great setup to achieve a professional final result. And for this, I will share a dedicated video showing my full camera setup for inspiration. It's a rig specially designed for talking head videos, speed, practicality and quality. Watch this video and combine great lighting with a great camera setup to achieve top-notch quality videos.